Something huge is about to happen in Australia and everyone is really calm about it.
What the are you talking about? Hey, you're actually all immigrants as well. I bet they're going to. Because why are these white people who are immigrants saying, nah, this is ours?
Okay, maybe not everybody, but the March for Australia is planned on the 31st of August. Now, what this is, the way it has been told, is it is a giant protest for the values that Australians hold dear. Now, a lot of people agree with it. A lot of people disagree with it. There is a distinct line in the sand. There are people who absolutely hate Australia, that think this is the worst thing that's ever happened. And there's people who like Australia, love Australia, that think this is absolutely amazing. And I think where everyone should be is somewhere in the middle. And that has always been my position on most issues. The best place to be is in the middle, taking the best from both camps. In this video, we're going to take a look at everything that this march, that this protest promises to be. And we're also going to take a look at who is organising it, why they're organising it, and what they hope to obtain from this protest. And I'm also going to take a look at the people that are calling this the worst thing to ever happen in Australia, labelling everybody a racist who's taking part in it, and seeing if those claims have any actual merit to them. Let's go straight to the source, the website for March for Australia. They say this: for years, Australia's unity and shared values have been eroded by policies and movements that divide us. Our streets have seen growing displays of anti-Australian hatred, foreign conflicts, and disintegrating trust, whilst mass migration has torn at the bonds that held our communities together. This march is a stand for the people, culture, and nation that built Australia, and for our right to decide its future. Now, honestly, looking at that sounds pretty good. I actually feel quite a lot of shame when it comes to how much hatred there is for our country in our country. I know people get a bit weirded out and they feel it's a bit cringe when you say left and right, but I think this is devolving into a left versus right thing where you have to agree with each cult. It's not a good way to look at this, okay? We should be patriotic. We should love this country. It's an awesome fucking country. They go on the website to say no foreign flags. I think that's a weird one. I think it'd be great to see a sea of foreign flags in this march. That would really represent the true Australia. And an end to mass migration. Now, I can get behind that, but let me tell you why, and I will tell you why in this video, okay? Now, the planned events, they're happening on the 31st. They're going to be all over the country and the locations haven't been confirmed yet. Let's start this very complex conversation with a very important statement. Migration, who comes into this country and who doesn't, should have nothing to do with race, the color of your skin, or where you're from. Obviously, there's some places we shouldn't be accepting people at all. If they're extremely violent, hate-filled places, then yeah, sure, don't allow those people in. But for the most part, color of skin, nothing to do with it. This just isn't a race thing, and that's an obvious thing to say, but the way that a lot of people are arguing against this march, and I don't know if I'm for it or against it at this point, the way they're arguing against it is saying that it's just a racist thing. No. When we talk about migration, when I talk about migration and immigrants coming into this country, I'm talking about people from America, people from the UK, New Zealand, South Africa, a lot of white people in those places. So I'm talking about all people. Do I think also on top of that people who do come into this country should really try to assimilate and become a part of Australian culture? Absolutely. We have an awesome culture here. It's beautiful, great people. Everyone's very happy, all that type of shit. You take identity politics out of it, you take the left or right out of it, it's an awesome place to be. So if you come here, you should learn the language, you should learn the history, you should learn the culture, you should be a part of the white Australian culture, the Aboriginal culture, all that shit, right? We should be happy, beautiful, awesome, great. And not that I should have to say this, but anyone who's against mass migration or immigrants based on skin color is a piece of shit, and fuck them. Okay? We've gotten that, we've sorted that out. Here's the reason I think that mass migration is terrible and why I am against it, okay? We talk about the cost of living all the fucking time. It's the cat's cry on the news. We also talk about in Australia a lot and all over the world about the issue that is housing. Housing prices are absolutely through the roof, and now on average, a person doesn't buy their first home until they're 36 years old, or if at all, really, at this point. The housing prices in Australia are absolutely astronomical, particularly in the cities. And the reason for that is because there's fucking too many people not being born, but coming into the country. And yes, there are some people that may point out the very true fact that my ancestors were immigrants into this country. But what you probably should know as well, that even if you're an Aboriginal person, a native person to this land, your ancestors were immigrants too. Everyone immigrated everywhere, okay? Fucking chill out. But on top of that, the immigrants that came to this country over the past, 50, 60, 70 years, we're talking Italians after the Second World War, we're talking Jewish people after the Second World War. Those people came here in similar circumstances to a lot of people that come here now, maybe war-torn countries, whatever. It was a different time. There was room. The population was nowhere near what it is now, particularly in these city centres. And on top of that, we were able to house these people, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. In 2022 to 2023, that financial year, 536,000 people migrated to Australia, 500,000 people. That dropped the year after to 446,000. And over the past year or so, it's been around the 500,000 mark. Now, the problem with that is all those people who have turned up here legally, they need to live somewhere. They need to buy a house. A lot of these people aren't just migrating, they've got no money and they're seeking asylum. No, these are people with money, they've got jobs and they're looking to move somewhere else, looking to start a new life. So how many houses did Australia build over the past few years? Well, if you look at 2023 to 2024, 168,000 homes, even though we were aiming for 240,000 homes. Now, if you look at the 500,000 people that came here during that year, let's imagine hypothetically that they are all couples. Every last one of them is a couple. That's still not enough homes for all of those people, even slightly. And not to mention all of the Australians that live here anyway that are looking to buy a home. That's not enough for the migrants or the people that live here, meaning, oh my God, here's the fucking problem. There's too many fucking people. 36 years old. That is the age in which you are probably going to buy your first home on average, right? In this financial year, 2025, 34-year-olds were the most populous single year of age in Australia. 412,000 people in 2 years. They're going to hit that average age of buying a home. That's another 400,000 people looking to buy a home in that year, plus the 500,000 people coming into the country. You're looking at almost 1 million people for, 160,000 fucking homes? This is the problem. It's simple economics. It is supply and demand. The supply is fuck all. The demand is fucking high. Therefore, if you want to buy a fucking 1840s rundown fucking run over brothel in the middle of Sydney, it's going to cost you $2 million fucking dollars. We are not looking after the people who already fucking live here. And that is the problem. And guess what? The people who live here aren't just white people. We're talking about all different ethnicities, all different colors, all different looks, right? We're talking about fat people, skinny people, Asian people, black people, white people. We're talking about everybody. They cannot afford a house in this fucking country because you're letting too many people in. And guess what? Half of the people that come in here are white. We're talking about white people too. We're talking about everyone. Now, I know I'm getting a little bit fucking upset. And I tell you what, on the topic of people being upset, let's take a little break to hear from the smooth brain herself, Abby Chatfield, for a calm, concise look at why a march against mass migration is a terrible, terrible thing. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, for $5 a month, you can join our Patreon. You can get access to these videos uncensored, completely uncensored, with all the swears and the mean words. Also, their videos are quite a bit longer. There is a bit more in depth, and then we discuss more things. So go and check them out on Patreon right now.
I didn't want to talk about this because I didn't want to bring attention to it, but it's now getting attention, so it's time to fucking talk about it and condemn it. On the 31st of August, there is going to be a nationwide protest for the racists and the xenophobes of Australia to get together and march for Australia. Okay? They claim that it is about cost of living.
Racists and xenophobes. Interesting, Abby.
They claim that it is about Australia gaining itself back, winning Australia back, taking Australia back from whom? No one knows.
I think what a lot of people are referring to there is the way that Australia seems to have changed quite a bit. and loses a bit of itself, because Australia is known for being laid back, jovial, we're fucking around, having a beer, and that's changed a lot. And that's not necessarily always a bad thing. But if you look at, let's say that Australia brings in 50,000 Americans next year, just good old-fashioned Americans, you would think, oh, well, we're losing a bit of Australia there. Like, these guys aren't Australians. Like, that they don't understand the sort of the way we act with each other, the way we talk, the way we joke, the accent, all that type of stuff, and we lose a bit of that. But when you conflate losing Australia and bringing it back with skin colour, that's where people start to lose the fucking plot with this conversation, and it all becomes about race, which I just don't think it is. For some people, it is, and they are racists, and they are pieces of shit, and they're not included in my conversation here. They are not. That is not the way I think about this, okay? So I understand where Abby's coming from. Like, oh, who are we talking about? What are we going to lose? I think what she could probably do is look at parts of the UK where a new culture has taken over and they've lost a lot of the English culture. So I think people are worried about that, and I think rightfully so. And I think even though you may think that's that has racist undertones, go to a country that's majority not white. Go to India, right? If Indian people had an influx of very Australian people, they would be worrying about losing Indian culture. And I think that would happen absolutely anywhere. It's sort of a very natural thing to worry about.
This is nothing but a racist, bigoted, disgusting, terrifying rally. And for any immigrants,
mate, I don't know, maybe. I don't really think so.
That follow me or are going to see this video, please fucking know you are welcome. And I know that doesn't feel like it. I know that this country does not make it fucking easy for you. But please know that you are welcome.
I don't know. I think that I hope people who are brown and black and every other colour, I hope that you feel welcome in Australia. You should. I try and make everybody feel welcome. But, you know, you're going to run into wankers, no doubt. But I don't know. Is it that bad? Is it really that? Let me know. If you don't have white skin, let me know in the comment section where you are. Let me know in the comment section if you do face this shit, because you shouldn't.
Should be condemned by every fucking Australian. Like, every Australian should realise that that is just xenophobia and racism, unnecessarily. We know that the problems that we have in this country, like cost of living, are not because of immigrants coming to this country.
Yeah, I agree. Not so much cost of living. I think that's just got a lot to do with fucking price gouging and supermarkets and being a monopoly and all that type of stuff. I know people say it's a duopoly, not really. They can just charge whatever the fuck they want. It's got a lot to do with shutting the country down 5 years ago. Abby was a big fan of that, so you can just shut the fuck up. But yeah.
It is easier to blame people that are below you than it is to try and fight upwards, right?
I don't think that immigrants and people with brown skin and black skin are below me, but go on.
Right? So these people go, I have issues in my life. Oh, the cost of living is really high. It must be these immigrants. These people below me because I feel bigger and more tough than them.
The housing problem is definitely to do with a lot of immigrants.
Because I'm aware of my privilege, right? If I'm one of these people going to this fucking rally, I'm aware of my privilege. I know.
We get it. You're aware of your privilege. You're very virtuous. Congratulations.
I know that I won't get cops coming to me. I'm a white person. I know that in
what are you
society,
talking about?
I can punch down on immigrants because I perceive them as weaker than I am.
Immigrants are not brown people, okay? This idea that all immigrants are brown people is ridiculous, okay? And it completely takes away from the whole conversation. So let's look at the numbers, shall we? 2023, 2024, there were some emergency visas issued. We're talking about Afghanistan, 7,000 people, Syria, 3,000, Iraq, 2,000, and so on and so forth. Ethiopia, Sudan, there was a couple. Okay, there's some people from some dodgy areas. Doesn't mean they're dodgy people. When you look at the main number of people not born in Australia who live here now, who are affecting the ability of Australian people of all different skin colours to buy houses, white Europeans make up almost 1 million. Okay, then it goes to Indians, then Chinese, then New Zealanders, mostly white, Philippines, Vietnam, South African, mostly white, Nepal, Malaysia, Sri Lanka. So there's a good mix of some brown people, some Asian people, but maybe not a majority, but right in there, they're certainly not a minority. It is white people. We're talking currently living in Australia, well over a couple of million white people that weren't born here, that are affecting the ability to buy houses from people who were born here. That doesn't mean that they're bad people, but it certainly means that migrants aren't black and aren't brown and aren't white. It's a mix. And that is the problem. We need to bring the mix down from everybody. Don't just only let white people in. Definitely know what I'm saying. Just bring it all down. Just calm it fucking down. That's the issue here. Look after the people that were born in this country, that live here, that are already exist here. Look after them first.
Because of my place of privilege in this country that is on stolen land. Okay?
Oh, stolen land. Okay.
Immigrants or children of immigrants or anybody who is even visiting this country. It is not my place to welcome all of you because I'm not Aboriginal. I'm not First Nations.
Abby, come on. There's no way you believe that you have to be an Aboriginal person to welcome people to Australia.
Who live in this country do not agree with this shit. They don't fucking agree with it.
Yeah, right. Most people don't agree with what you're saying is like, okay. Most people in this country do agree with you that it is not okay to be racist. And I think the vast majority of people that would go to a protest like this also agree with that. And I think that there are some people that do have racist thoughts, and they do think that all immigrants are brown people and they got to stop the brown people and brown people are evil and all that type of stuff. And I hope someone clips this part of the video and just puts it on Instagram. But that's not the reality of most logically thinking human beings, the good people in this country, the people we should be looking after. So to say that everybody that would ever put Australia first is xenophobic or racist or bigoted is ridiculous. And Abby goes on for the rest of the video. I'll play another 30 seconds.
These insecure losers, these absolute freaks want to feel powerful.
I love
and
Ashley.
Like I was saying before, it's easy to punch down than it is to maybe admit that our system is pretty fucked. And maybe those in power, who have power over us, have much more control than they ever realised, right?
What, like the Prime Minister you put on your podcast? Anyway, Abby goes on, she yells, she screams for the next 5 or 6 minutes, and we do not have time to go through that entire thing. She's a bit of a lunatic, old Abs, and I'd like to sit down and have a conversation with her about some things, because I reckon that we probably agree with more things or on more things than you would realise. One conversation that is being had is about the skilled migrants that do come into this country. Unfortunately, the skills aren't the ones that we need. Right now, we need, fucking builders to build more fucking houses. But migrants in Australia hold 26% of jobs. That's 5.3 million jobs in this country. The top industries employing migrants are admin and support services. That's 14%. Healthcare and social assistance. That's 12%. And accommodation and food service. That's 11%. So not really the building and infrastructure jobs that are probably more required. One thing that Abby did talk about that I need to address is that a lot of the people involved in these rallies or these protests or these marches will actually be Nazis. Now, there is a guy called Thomas Sewell who is like a Nazi, nationalist, socialist, fucking mad person. And those guys had that rally in Melbourne in the middle of the night the other week. They marched down the street all covered in black, and they certainly looked like they were on the government's payroll. And that's another thing you got to be careful of here. People are looking at laws to bring in to stop protests. That's not a good thing. Even though the people who are saying that's not a good thing, a lot of them were very much against people protesting during a certain thing that happened 5 years ago. Anyhow, whatever. So there are some people like these Nazi guys that are like, hey, this is our march, and they're saying that it's theirs, and that a lot of these people who probably are sympathizers with those people, that they might be being a part of it. And that's not good. That's not a good thing. Not that I should have to say that I don't agree with them, but I definitely don't agree with them. And I think most people don't. One thing I have seen, though, is there's a guy called Rukshan who works with Avi Yemeni and seems like a nice guy. I've never met him, but he said, I'm a proud Australian looking forward to marching at the end of the month. And he had a lot of people go on there and say, hey, you're not Australian, yada, yada, yada. And so there is this faction of genuine racist pieces of shit that are going to be a part of this. And that's not good. That's not the people that you want fighting any conversation with government. Those type of people break down these arguments and just make it so easy for people who disagree with you, or for governments or powers that be to go, no, you're a racist just like these pieces of shit. So that's not good at all. The March for Australia Facebook page came out and said that recent claims have been made by various groups attempting to take ownership for the March for Australia or attach their own agendas to it. We wish to make it clear that these organisers are not members nor acting on behalf or any other group. In particular, recent claims by Thomas Sewell of White Australia, like what a are not reflective of the organisers nor politics of March for Australia. We are not associated with their organisation. Additional claims that we're associated with the Israeli, Jewish or Palestinian movements and organisations are unfounded and are untrue. They say it's a grassroots, organic effort to unite Australia around a common cause, ending mass migration. That's the main one. So they've basically just said it's all bullshit. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. Calling for the ends to mass migration is probably a great idea. It would certainly help young people in this country get a leg up and get into the housing market. Does it attract some genuine pieces of shit? I think it probably does. Are the people on the left losing their fucking minds over this, suggesting that we shouldn't be able to have these hard conversations? Absolutely. And are they being completely disingenuous when they say that migrants, or they allude to the idea that migrants are brown people? Not that brown, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not factual. Like, and I think it's important to say this again. The migrants that come to this country thinking that they are all like brown people is wrong. And even if they were all brown people, it's not a problem. But they're white people too. Okay, this is not a race thing. This is not a fucking race thing. That's I can't put it any more simply. I cannot do that. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below about this entire conversation. I don't know what to think. I think there's a lot of things that need to be done in this country. I think we should be more patriotic. I think we should be a better Australia that welcomes everybody but puts our own country and everyone in it, regardless of the colour of their skin, first. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Me dick stinks. Tout au revoir. Bye-bye.